I will share some Ayurvedic wisdom today, but I also want to open the space for us here present. Thank you for showing up in person to share something, to share an experience you have, maybe something you are challenged with yourself, or some menstrual imbalances you have, or any questions you might want to ask. Yeah, this is the space. So there will be some space I take and share some knowledge, and then I will also give you space to share or ask any questions. Okay, so just to introduce myself, I'm 𝗪𝗫𝗿𝗃. I'm an Ayurveda practitioner. I'm an educator, Ayurvedic educator, therapist, yoga teacher, and I'm the founder of Ayu for Life, which is a place for Ayurveda here on Koh Phangan, where I'm living for more than 8 years. I'm original from Germany, but I have left Germany already almost 11 years ago, and I'm on this path of yoga. Through yoga, I discovered Ayurveda, and now Ayurveda is my main passion, and what I live and what I teach and what I love to spread. So this is a little bit about me. My background actually is corporate. So before I found myself on this path, luckily, I was working in corporate. So my life changed actually 360 degrees, from working my ass off into burnout to then finding my into Ayurveda and living really what I can embody every day, joyfully. So this is a little bit about me. So usually I also have a presentation, but I want to stay a bit away from holding this class with a presentation and make it very master classy, because this is not my intention for today. But maybe for a few things I put a slide in. So let's see how we flow. Yeah. So first of all, what is Ayurveda? For those might be not so familiar. So Ayurveda is the most oldest, sophisticated, holistic medical system in the world. And it's primarily a preventative medicine or practice. But Ayurveda is a lifestyle, simply to say. So I'm often saying, when we're tapping into Ayurveda, we don't do Ayurveda, we live Ayurveda. Yeah, it's not I'm doing Ayurveda or doing something. I live Ayurveda. I breathe Ayurveda. I become Ayurveda in every part of my life. Yeah? And that might be not in the beginning, because we all didn't grow up with this wonderful science. But to tap into it, it's really an intention of this becomes my lifestyle. And this is what Ayurveda is. It is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle to experience every day. But bringing it more to a feminine aspect, Ayurveda is a feminine path. Ayurveda is in nature very feminine, because the approach of Ayurveda is not to harm or invade anyone. The methods or the knowledge or the principles we are using are very soft, are very feminine, are very Mother Earth. Yeah, because this is what Ayurveda is. Ayurveda invites us to come back into our natural flow with nature, to sink back into harmony with the circadian rhythm, with the nature themselves, with all the parts of the nature, with the cycles, with the rhythm, with the seasons, with everything. So we are very a natural, seasonal rhythm human being. And Ayurveda specifically supports us women very respectfully for thousands of years, with bringing us into understanding what are the stages of womanhood, because we are going through different stages as a woman, making us aware what these stages we will talk about in a minute mean to us, and how we women can actually support ourselves in each of the stage, with learning as well who we are in our own individuality, as Ayurveda teaches us that we are unique individual beings. And how can we go and flow through these different stages in our womanhood, in our best self, and of course as healthy as possible. Yeah. And also to understand, for example, when we speak about womanhood or women health, we of course think that with menstruation, with the cycle, and with hormones. And I want you to understand, for example, in Ayurveda, we speak a different language. We speak the language of the doshas, of the body constitutions, which are vata, pitta, kapha. Yeah? And we speak the five, we understanding these doshas through the 5 elements: ether, air, fire, water, and earth. And these elements we're explaining and understanding and experiencing, feeling, and balancing through the language of gunas, the Guruvadi gunas, the gunas which describing a quality. Because everything in this world, in this nature, outside and within in this nature, has a quality. And these qualities are described that something I'm consuming affects my body in a sense of it heats my body up, or it cools my body down, or what I'm consuming, it's drying me, or it's giving me oiliness or lubrication, or makes me really, it makes me heavy, or it makes me light. So these are qualities in Ayurveda. This is the language, the main language in everything what we are doing in Ayurveda. We are speaking, explaining, and using to balance us. Yeah? And when we speak, for example, about hormones, we don't use the word hormones so much. Of course, for our Western mind to understand, we are using this word. But in Ayurveda, we actually explain hormones through the tissues. And this is a very specific tissue. This is the Dhatu Agni. Agni is a word for fire, yeah? Which then relates to the Pitta dosha, which is the fire element. So sometimes something is very hot, very passionate. Yeah. So, and because something is changing in that fire, in that tissue, fire tissue, which then affects our blood. And the affection of the blood creates the imbalances in our body, plus also our metabolism, because Agni is a word for fire, but also describes in Ayurveda our digestive fire, our metabolic fire, our capacity, ability, and health of our digestive system. And the digestive system is our engine. And this is where we look at. If there's something not going the way it should, then we're looking at how well you actually digest. Yeah? What is your metabolism doing? And this we have to address. Yeah? So this is a little going in. I will not in this class explain too much about what are the doshas. I can dive in a little bit, but not into the depths. So we have 3 doshas, which are vata, pitta, kapha. These are our constitutions. These are our body types. These are our genetic blueprint. And sorry, there came a call in. That was unpleasant. How was that? Okay, so sorry for that. So these 3 doshas are our genetic blueprint. And we are born with all of these 3 doshas. This is very important to understand. We are all vata, pitta, kapha. But when we are created, when our parents created us, or we came into creation, or our soul found a new body, then it depends on, of course, the doshas of your parents, the season, the way they created you, and also the planets. All that Ayurveda considers into the creation of you as a unique new individual being. And this is your placenity. Yeah? So this is your birth constitution, and your birth constitution is a combination, a proportional combination of these 3 doshas. And therefore we're saying, okay, For example, I'm a Pitta Vata. So this is my proportional constitution. That doesn't mean I'm not Kapha. I also have a part of Kapha in me, but this part is maybe quite little, yeah, or lesser, yeah. So my biggest part in my constitution is Pitta, yeah. I'm very fire, and then another part is Vata. So how we understanding these doshas is through the theory of the 5 elements. We have 5 elements. I named them. I will repeat them. It's ether, air, fire, water, and earth. So Vata has the qualities of ether and air. Shortly explained, women, they're quite Vata. They might be quite light in nature, body-wise, but also in their mind. Yeah, they might be quite windy. Yeah, like the wind, it always moves. Yeah, the wind comes and goes, and this is how these women are. Yeah, so they're quite light in their appearance, in their body weight, in their body structure. Irregularity, it's quite a word for Vata women as well. Yeah, either irregularity in their appearance, might be in the teeth or something else in their body, but also irregularity in their personality or how they do things. Yeah, so they have very irregular lifestyles. They love to move, they love to change, yeah, very quickly. They come and go, they love to travel a lot, they like to be in movement. And irregularity also shows in their menstrual cycle. Yeah, they might have very irregular cycles, and they might have a lot of painful cycles as well. Yeah, because if there's a lot of wind in the body, it also creates dryness. So these women might also struggle with irregular bowel movement or elimination or digestion. So sometimes they are constipated, or quite often they are constipated. Yeah, sometimes they have diarrhea, sometimes they have a good bowel movement. Yeah, so this irregularity is very present in Vata women. Yeah, and also Vata is dominant in the end of our life. I will say more about this when I speak about the stages of the womanhood. So this is very briefly explained what the Vata dosha is. Pitta is fire and water. So women, they have a lot of Pitta, like me. They are very passionate. Yeah, they're like, they love to lead, they love to work a lot, they love to create. I mean, Vata also loves to create, but sometimes they get lost in creation in their mind because they're so busy in the mind that the Pitta is the one who takes the action. Yeah, but Pitta can be also the one gets impatient, because if there's a lot of fire, Pitta become very impatient. Yeah, and sometimes also they're easily burned out. So Pitta women, they might experience more heavy bleeding, yeah, strong bleeding, because if there's a lot of fire, then there's a lot of blood as well. Yeah, Pitta regulates the hunger and the temperature in the body. Yeah, so when you are a Pitta woman, you might experience you love to eat, yeah, because you're constantly hungry, you have a good appetite. Yeah, but that's also okay, because Pitta women can digest very well. Pitta women have the strongest acne, have the strongest digestive system. So if they keep good care of that, so even they eat a little more or bigger portion, they can well digest. Yeah, because they have a good digestion. They go like 1 to 3 times a day to toilet. Yeah? So this is also when you know you're on balance, when that works well. Yeah, and you might have experienced you have more heat in the body. Like, for example, a Vata person will be often cold or always cold, or as soon the temperature drops or it comes into autumn and winter, like if you are now in winter, they get easily very cold. For Pitta women, it takes a while until they get really cold. Yeah, so this is Pitta. Yeah, let me just admit someone in. So this is Pitta. Very, very, yeah, a lot of passion, and but easy maybe can also go into frustration. if Pitta is getting too hot. Yeah. So Kapha women, they're earth and water. Hello, Sonia. They're earth and water. So these women might be built a little rounder, but also Kapha women have the best endurance and strength. They have a very good immune system. Yeah? And these women love to care. These women love to be in service. These women love to be in charity. They are caregivers. They are givers. Yeah? The problem is with Kapha women, they give so much that sometimes they forget to get something in return or take care of themselves. Yeah? And then Kapha women have the tendency to might go to fall into depression or a very sedative lifestyle, yeah, which then can create ama, or too much kapha in the body. And ama means undigested waste products, which can also be experienced as too much mucus in the body, yeah, or heaviness, feeling very, very heavy. So these women have usually regular digestion, but sluggish, yeah, like if it comes with the earth element, there's a groundedness in these women. They are calm, they are relaxed, they are more slow, yeah. But they are very grounded. They're not easily get stressed, yeah. But when earth comes in, too much earth, then you might get too heavy. You get too slow. You get like a couch potato. And if there's too much heaviness building up in your body, that creates also imbalances. This creates ama, yeah, ama, undigested waste products. If ama gets comfortable into your body, that is the disease. This is the seat of disease and imbalance. Yeah, this is also what we look at when we look at menstrual imbalances. And let me say something very beautifully, tapping into menstruation. Is that we women actually have a gift with our menstruation. And I think this is very important for our youngster to listen to here, that menstruation is a wonderful gift to all of us women. We don't have to be ashamed of. We should not ignore. We should celebrate, because it's an opportunity for us women to detox and purify of that ama, which is sticky, which is slimy, which could be whitish and blocking the channels and blocking whatever in the body which shouldn't be blocked, to eliminate through the menstrual blood. So we women are gifted with a detox program, a free detox program every month, to clean ourselves of this unwanted ama in the body. And when we not take care of this, when we suppress menstruation through hormones, to UTI, to name it what the Western medicine gives us, or simply ignore that we are not menstruating regularly, we are missing out of this wonderful gift to detox every month. And therefore, and this is really why I want to spread this body-mind awareness, that we women tapping lovingly in this self-responsibility, that we are made to bleed, that we are made to bleed happily, and that we honor this gift, that we don't shame, that we don't ignore, that we don't put it on taboo in society or with our husband or boyfriend or with our parents or whatever, that we talk openly about it, and that we make an effort to whatever imbalances you created for yourself or life created through lifestyle and you didn't know better, that you make an effort to rebalance, that you are interested in making yourself happily bleed again. And we women as young girls, we are starting like when we are 15, until 15 is the first kind of stage in our life, which also is influenced by Kapha dosha. And this is where also the first stage of our womanhood starts. And this is menage, when we start to bleed. And you know, in India, they practicing, and some areas it's not practiced anymore, but In some, yes, they do something very beautifully. So when the girl starts to bleed, they actually have a celebration. So the whole village comes together and celebrate this girl entered menage, entered womanhood now. And why they do it? First, you would think, when I heard this, I was thinking, oh my God, how embarrassing. Oh my God, what, this poor girl, you know? But the intention of this is very beautiful. It is actually to give the girl a very positive experience and memory that bleeding is nothing bad, nothing she has to shame herself for. It's actually to create a positive experience and memory for this girl to have a very healthy menstruation in front of her. And I think this is a very beautiful ritual, yeah, because I know many women, and believe me, most of the women stepping into either Ayurveda for Life or I meet online, almost everyone nowadays has menstrual issues, and this with a very young age. And this makes me so worried, and that's why I feel so much I want to get more out and spread this, and yeah, also build collaboration with women that are also working in this field. It's so important that we teach our daughters, that we educate ourselves. I mean, no one taught me that, you know, and this is all about, we didn't know, because simply no one taught us, because our parents also didn't know better, right? But we still have an opportunity, if we're still bleeding and even entering menopause, this is also very important, to change something, to shift something, because it's never too late to make a change in your life and to improve something and rebalance something. And even we can't rebalance everything, but we can make a positive impact. Yeah. And I think this is very important, and I would love to share a little short story I just have experienced a few days ago. I was on a little trip, gifting myself with self-care, and I met two young girls on a boat trip, and we got into conversation. They were very young, 21, very cute, 21 years old. And why ever we came to this topic of menstruation. So, and then she said something, because she just noticed that she started to bleed, and she was very annoyed and said, oh, again. I said, oh yeah, I'm bleeding always, like 30 days a month. I said, what? Yeah, maybe 4 days a month I don't bleed. I said, what? Yeah. And then I asked her some questions, and she said, yeah, I have this since I'm 14, since I started to bleed. No one knows. I said, do you also have pain? Yes, but doctors always send me away. They don't see anything. Now I have a UTI, and they even gave me hormonal pills on top of the UTI, because she really wanted to enjoy her travels without bleeding. But even that has not helped. She has the UTI, she's still bleeding. She put on top another strong hormone tablets, still bleeding. So she stopped the tablets, luckily, but no one helping her, no one addressing it holistically. And she's only 21, imagine that. So if she comes to the point that she wants a child, because that's also a point in, as womanhood, a part in our stage of life, pregnancy, that's the next one. So when we enter our 20s and 30s, and motherhood is a topic for you, then it's very crucial to really look that you have a healthy menstruation. Because I had women sitting in my clinic and 39 and suddenly wanted to become a mom, but they have so many imbalances, just almost not able to rebalance anymore. And that's why if you are a woman, you want to have a child and you want to experience pregnancy and you want to be a mother, take care of this. Don't wait too long. Don't ignore if there's something out of balance. And this is unfortunately a problem in our society, that we're ignoring too long. Mm-hmm. And I also have sometimes to remind myself to take care earlier. we're sitting it out and we're waiting, and sometimes it's okay. We don't have to freak out about everything. Yeah, like my doctor always say, like, relax. Relax. It's not everything, and sometimes the body goes into an imbalance and it rebalances themselves. But if there is a stronger imbalance going on for a longer period of time, we need to take care of that. It's very, very important. Yeah? And this is where Ayurveda can help us. So the next stage, what is that? See? See, Zoom even confirms with the firework behind me. Oh my God, I never had this. Anyone knows what that was? That's funny. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, the whole world confirms. Anyway, so yeah, I'm so Peter. I am. Yeah, so this is the next stage, which are so important for us women. I'm not a mom, and I'm not really desiring to be a mom, but who has the desire, pregnancy, motherhood, postpartum, it's also a very important chapter in Ayurveda, and Ayurveda has a whole chapter on that. So that would be probably another online class we can do for those who are really interested in fertility and motherhood and pregnancy. But it's also where we have to become very aware. So the ideal way in Ayurveda teaches us to become a mother is actually to detox before, yeah? To really intentionally and not accidentally become a mother. Yeah? And there's so much Ayurveda provides us with rituals, routines, and lifestyle, how we can support as women in that very, very wonderful, beautiful time of our life. So after postpartum, we are slowly entering into premenopause, which actually I'm 40, starting now. And I have to tell you, I feel it. I feel it. And this is also the stage of Vata dosha. Yeah. In the first, I said Kapha. In the middle, like pregnancy and postpartum womanhood or motherhood, it's Pitta dosha is influencing us. And then by the end of our life, we're coming into our phase of Vata. And Vata is menopause. So, but it's not only that we have to take care of a healthy menstruation. It's also when we are facing this time or stage of our life to really treat as women well, that we entering menopause in a very harmonious and easy way. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I see so many women now, a little bit older than me, entering menopause and really struggling, really struggling. And every woman will enter menopause in a different way, of course. Yeah, this also is what dosha you are, what life you lived, and so on. But it's like that we women really get into this awareness that we have that stages of life, and each stage requires another awareness how to treat ourselves. Yeah? And this is very, very important to learn. And this is where Ayurveda supports us. This is where Ayurveda teaches us what is good to eat for our Dhatu Agni, for our hormones. Yeah, how we can rebalance when something is out of balance. How to think. Ayurveda is not just diet. Ayurveda also teaches us mindset work, like really how can we prepare ourselves to age, for example, or if we are very young. Yeah, what is mindset around menstruation and becoming a woman? That brings also a lot of challenges. Yeah, like all the stages have their own beauty and their own challenges. Yeah? And Ayurveda helps us to create habits and lifestyle that we can promote every of the stage in a very harmonious, beautiful, and balanced way. Yeah? So of course, we're all coming with our satamyas. Satamyas are habits. Habits they have created long time back. Yeah, as when we were young. And they come from our parents, they come from our environment, they come from our school, they come from our friends, they come from ourselves, how we see ourselves in the world. And few of the satamyas maybe serve you because they are part of your culture and how you grew up and everything, and they might work for you. But I tell you, most of these habits or satamyas we are living are not serving us. Yeah, and this reflects in our menstruation, and our overall health, in our weight, in our mindset, and how do we live life, and how we react to life, and what choices we are taking. Yeah? And also, it's very important to understand, if you are still bleeding, is that our menstruation, the health of our menstruation, is actually an insightful reflection of your overall health. There is no separation. Yeah. So if your menstruation is not healthy, then it also means that in your overall health, something is out of balance, which needs to be addressed. We are not just bleeding women for 1 to 5 to 6 days a month. We are having a cycle, and we are living this cycle. We are cycling, cyclist women, cyclist beings, like this, like the seasons, like the nature. Yeah. And how good or bad we are treating ourselves in our cycle, that will reflect in our menstruation. Yeah, and that's why the menstruation is not always the same. Sometimes we are experiencing menstruation, they're very easy and very good, no pain. And suddenly the next menstruation is full of pain, and you think like, what is going on? Yeah, this is when you should take a moment and pause, what you anyway should do when you menstruate. Let's talk about that. And reflect on your previous cycle. Reflect on, oh, what did I actually do in my previous cycle? Did I go out a lot? Did I party, drink a lot of alcohol? Did eat a lot of fast food? Had a lot of stress? Where there's something happening which really brought me also out of balance? How was my relationship in this month? All of this will have an influence on your next bleeding time. Yeah. And you know what's the worrying thing in menstruation? And maybe a few of you saw my newsletter or saw my Instagram post I recently made. I made the statement that we are too busy to menstruate. And this is reality. This is reality in this life, which is sad. Women don't take time to bleed. Women don't take time to bleed, but also don't appreciate this time of bleeding. Yeah. So because society teaches us, you as a woman, when you bleed, you can still do everything like a man. You know, you just have to function. You have to work, and sometimes we do. Not everyone has the fortune of taking menstrual leave, which I advocate, but I know it's not possible for everyone. But my life was the same. I never honored the time when I was bleeding. I didn't look at my calendar and was even aware when I bleed and scheduled anything accordingly. No, it is popping the tampon. If there's any pain, popping the painkiller, and then life goes on as usual. But there is no usual. When we bleed, it's not usual. When we bleed, the two of our most important hormones are estrogen and progesterone are on the lowest while we are menstruating. And this means that we women are naturally, there's nothing we have to excuse for or explain or whatever, or ashamed of. We are naturally low on energy. This is very natural, okay? And this time of low energy, you don't have to explain to anyone. It's natural, happens. The only thing you should require for yourself is take a break. Slow down everything in your life. And even you need to go to work, slow down your activities afterwards. The time you can take for yourself, rest, go inward. This is time to cocoon inwards. This is our inner winter time. And what do we want to do in winter, right, Gosha? We want to stay inside. We want to stay warm, right? And this is what menstruation calls us to do, to stay inward, to stay more for ourselves, to treat ourselves well, and not treating us with junk food. Yeah. In our menstruation, Vata Pitta is dominant. So, and Vata is dominant in giving us the downward movement. So menstruation, the blood has to move out of our body. Endometrium lining is breaking down. So we need Vata, the movement. This is what Vata does as a function. It moves things. And this movement has to happen downward. So, and to allow this downward movement to happen freely, give the body rest. Pitta is active to make us bleeding. That also means Pitta don't want to be busy to digest your pizza or your pasta or your other junk food you might eating. This is very heavy to digest. That's why Ayurveda recommends to eat very light while we are menstruating. Warm food. Never eat cold food while you're menstruating. I see so many women doing that wrong. They drink ice cold drinks, Coca-Cola, fizzy drinks, smoothie bowls. Oh my God. I make another post about smoothie bowls very soon because that's really the killer in Ayurveda, and it's the killer in menstrual health and hormonal health. Yeah, it became such a hype, which is so destroying for us women and for our hormones. Putting this cold stuff in the body, especially when you menstruate. Please don't do this. Warm herbal drinks, warm water, help the body to make that beautiful free detoxification process. And we help the body to detox with warm water. Yeah. Or eat something like barley. Barley is very magical in doing menstruation because barley has a scraping effect. It helps the body to scrape the toxins out of the body. Yeah. So this is very, very helpful to do these things. We don't take any medication while we're menstruating. We don't go out and party. We don't indulge in anything loud or excessive. We don't receive treatments. This is what many women also be always very, very surprised when I tell them not going to massage, because the oil of the massage is blocking the channels, the throtas. And we don't want to block anything while we are menstruating. And we are naturally low on antioxidants, which brings us naturally in an oxidative stress. So when other people, we are touching other people or they touch us, they also go into oxidative stress. That's quite physically explained. I just wanted to bring that in because it's a very different perspective. But mainly, we don't want anyone to touch us. And maybe you also feel that naturally when you tap into yourself while you're menstruating, that you even don't desire so much to touch others. I also know on the other side, I have women that say, when I'm menstruating, I'm very horny. So I have more sexual desire. That can happen as well. But please, women, this is not the time for any sexual intercourse, because when we have sex while we are menstruating, we are distracting the natural flow of Vata. And I just told you, Vata needs to flow downwards. When we're putting anything upwards, that will also change the direction of Vata. And this is could be one reason of endometriosis. Yeah. So many women now suffer from endometriosis, and it becomes a new pandemic actually. And this is what we really have to learn. We as women have to learn to follow a proper, healthy menstrual routine. And making love while you menstruate is not really good according to the ancient practices, because it changes the gravity. And the same is when you travel while you menstruate. That's why it's very important to be very aware of your menstruation. Yeah. So have a menstrual calendar if your menstruation is following a calendar, because some women have a very irregular menstruation. It's not possible. I understand. But really be aware when you menstruate, and plan accordingly. I know it's not always possible, but if you can avoid flying or traveling while you menstruate, you will do yourself a very big favor for your future. I give you an example. A few months ago, I was in Bangkok, and I wasn't sure. My menstruation was a little bit changing 1-2 days, and how unfortunately it happened, I got my menstruation the day I flew back to Koh Phangan. I was aware of it. I said, okay, what to do? It's only 1 hour flight. But you know what happened? When we landed and I stepped out of the plane, I was cramping in pain. I never have pains when I menstruate. I have a little bit discomfort, so normal. My body shows me there's something happening, but never like strong cramps that I have to stand like this. I was standing on the airport like this. Oh my God. My body was immediately reacting and showing me something is going in the wrong direction. Yeah, it's going upward. And luckily I had something with me, 𝗪𝗏, which is a very, very good Ayurvedic medicine, which helps immediately to bring the vata flow down again. So I took 2 of these tablets, and a couple of minutes or 5 minutes, then it was good. So I was prepared for it. But I'm just showing you how much we need to pay attention to these things, actually. Yeah. And also start to pay attention how tired, how you really feel when you menstruate. Do you, yeah, I can. Do you really need to do so many things? Can you just honor that you are simply tired, that the body wants to rest? Yeah. And what is it what you actually can't postpone, or except of your work, of course, if you're not allowed to take menstrual leave? But do you need to meet your friend while you menstruate? No, you can postpone. It's only 2, 3, 4, 5 days. What will you miss? You know, and this is really where we women need to come into more acceptance of ourselves, of our womanhood, of our natural flows, and really honor this time and take rest, pause. You're allowed to pause. And also communicate this to your husband, communicate this to your boyfriend, communicate that to your partner. Also as mothers. One of my teachers, actually, she said, you know how I always did it, Nancy, with my kids? She has 2 boys, of course, grown men now. I always told them, mommy is bleeding and mommy needs her rest. So from very young age, these 2 boys were very aware of women having menstruation, and during menstruation, they need rest. And I think this is the way we need to do with our kids. From the very beginning, early age, we need to include them. We need to inform them. We need to tell them what is happening in the woman body, and that mommy is not in the same strength or power she is the rest of the months of the cycle. Yeah, she needs her 2-3 days to rest. Yeah, and this we need to communicate to our kids in a very young, boys as girls, not only girls. Also, boys need to grow up with this, because this is where the shame comes because of the man. Yeah, but they need to learn this from a very, very young age, and they will treat us very differently. Yeah, and menstruation, and when you menstruate, and what is happening in your cycle should be very much part in your relationship. So the men know what's going on, and they give you the space as well, because you cry it, you share it. Yeah? And when you come out of menstruation, then we are sparking up into spring, into summer. This is when Pitta goes up. Yeah, this is when your creativity flows again, when you get energy, when you feel more blooming and glowing again, when you have that mind space of creating and bringing things into action, and to hold classes and teach, launch things and go out and date as a woman and show yourself confidently out there. It's all coming. After menstruation, you get your power back. Use this time. Use this time to be active, to do your things, to travel, to exercise strongly, to make love, to whatever you like to do. Yeah, this is your time, your superpower time. Yeah. Also, what I forgot to say, and very important to mention, is when we are menstruating, this is not the time to do strong exercises. Yeah, When we're menstruating, we have to rest. You can do very light yoga. Sometimes it's helping. For women, they're cramping a lot. They need to move a little bit, so the cramps releasing. Yeah, but don't go in the gym. Don't do your vinyasa flow. Don't jog or run. You can go on simple walks. No swimming either. Yeah, this is actually could be a severe reason for women having an absence of menstruation. I just got a new client recently. We're working now for almost 2 months together, and she came to me and she was very sad because for 5 years she didn't have her menstruation. And now I tell you something. She went to 3 different doctors, and or to even more, but 3 of these doctors told her she was 25 or 26 when the menstruation stopped. Yeah, very in her mid-20s. And all 3 doctors said, congratulations, be happy that you not menstruate anymore. When she told me this, I was like, oh my God, this is where we're living. This is so awful, really. Like congratulating a young woman who might want to become a mom, not menstruating anymore. This is crucial. So she came to me and she said in the very beginning of this year, she had once her menstruation, but then they stopped again. So of course she shared her life story with me and we started to work, and she already got the 2nd time her menstruation. So, and we just did simple lifestyle approaches, and one major change for her was I had to stop her to exercise. And that sometimes sounds very weird for us because we always believe we have to exercise. This is what everyone tells us. We have to move, we have to do. Yes, we have to exercise. We have to move this body, but in which way? She was actually addicted to exercising. So it's important the attitude and the intention why we exercise. If you exercise because you're afraid to put weight on, this is a mindset we have to look at. Yeah, why are you exercising? Why are you exercising extremely and excessive? That's not necessary either. Yeah, and what is behind all of that? So I had to stop her exercising, except very light yoga and just walking. Yeah, going on a brisk walk. And yeah, she's back on menstruation. She just messaged 2-3 days ago. We were waiting, because she started to menstruate really only 3-4 weeks after we started to work. And then I was like, let's see. I didn't want to start celebrating already. Let's wait for the next one coming. And every signs were there for menstruation. And she messaged me 3 days ago. She got her, again, the menstruation, very irregular. So this is so beautiful. This is so, so beautiful. And this is what it is. We need to see our habits. We need to see the lifestyle we are living. Is that in alignment with how I want to feel? Is this in alignment what I want to heal? Is this in alignment with what I want to balance? Yeah. So I think this is very beautifully to share, and I hope she was okay. I'm sharing this. I'm not saying any names. And yeah, so this is very, very important. So yeah, when we are in our superpower state, Pitta state, going into ovulation, this is of course when the women body gets ready, yeah, I'm fertile, let's do it, but many other things going around this in your activities, how you can do things, how do you show yourself into this world. And then after ovulation, there are only actually 24 hours where we can really fall pregnant. We are going into a Pitta Kapha. So Kapha becomes more strong. This is when the endometrium lining is growing, which we actually call the bed of the baby. So if you fall pregnant, that will be that the endometrium lining is going bigger and bigger, growing to hold the baby. So this is when we are experience this kapha dominance in our cycle, is when we suddenly, after our climax, ovulation, become a little bit more heavy. Yeah, and then you suddenly think, oh, why I'm so tired, why I'm a bit more heavy and losing energy. This is because kapha hits in. And this is might be when we're becoming a little bit more mucusy, but this is we call also the non-bullshit time. You might have experienced just before your menstruation and after ovulation, you have the urge to clear things up, maybe to clean, to close a project, to close something, wanted to end something, or going into a discussion with your partner or with a friend, or you just have this urge something has to solve, you know, what you might put under the carpet in before of your cycle is saying, oh yes, okay. No, before menstruation, you just need to clean things, to clear things. And this is why we call it the non-bullshit time. Yeah. So this is good to finish work, to finish a project, and then just before menstruation, for some women, 5 days, 4 days, or 3 days before, you might experience some mild or severe PMS, premenstrual syndromes. Maybe you get headachy, you get really moody, very, very tired, very heavy. This depends of your imbalance. For example, if you have a stronger kapha imbalance and kapha is accumulating, you might experience more breast tenderness. Pain in the breast is actually kapha vata. Yeah. If you get digestive issues, it might be more vata. So this is actually a sign for you to understand the symptoms of your premenstrual time is actually showing you your imbalance, what is aggravated, and what do you need already to balance before you go then in happy bleeding, to make also this time happy bleeding and as painless as possible, because it's not normal that women have pain when they menstruate. Yeah, this is not a normal condition. We have to very much understand this. We might experience, all of us women, a little different menstruation according to our constitution. But being in severe pain on popping painkiller and other symptoms, migraine attacks, on vomiting, and what some women experiencing, this is not normal. This shows a clear imbalance. Yeah, and this imbalance has to be addressed. This is very important. So how we do that, understanding our prakriti, understanding our dosha, our Ayurvedic constitution, understanding in that language our imbalance, looking at our lifestyle and our daily life, what we're consuming, not just food, but also what we're consuming mentally. That's also part of Ayurveda, and we need to look at, because we need to look at the 4 aspects of health, which are physical health, emotional health, social health, and spiritual health. All these 4 aspects of health are important to balance. Yeah, we cannot just look at the physical body. No, we look at the emotions as well. We look at your environment, on how much you're trusting. We're looking at your spiritual practices. All of that are contributing to our health and well-being, contributing to our menstrual and hormonal health. Yeah. So of course we need to look into diet, into lifestyle, what you are happy with in your life and what you're not, what is not in alignment. Yeah. How do you live your relationships, your social life? All of that is important to look at, to rebalance any kind of problem you may be facing. Yeah, and this is, let me check in my notes, really something I wanted to share with you. Before I open the space for you, I wanted to share this specific treatment I did in India. I wrote something about it. You might read it. It's called banana leaf treatment. Sounds funny. So you can only do it in India in a very specific clinic in Hyderabad with Dr. Raju. And it's called banana leaf treatment because it is served on a banana leaf and a very tiny piece of banana. And on top, there's a very specific medicine. No one knows what this medicine is. The history or the story says that some high Vaidya Ayurvedic doctor, Rishi, whatever, gifted the Raju family with this recipe of this medicine for women. Yeah. So, and ideally you go there and you start this treatment on the first day of your menstruation. So it is actually a treatment to clean your uterus, to clean your reproductive organs. It's like a panchakarma for the uterus. Panchakarma, it's the Ayurvedic detox. So, and you just take this medicine in the morning. You have to do a prayer to the east, and then you go in your room and rest. You don't go anywhere. You can go for a little walk, but mainly you stay with yourself, and you only eat rice and milk, which after 5 days is a little bit like, oh, I have enough of that. Yeah, no spices, nothing, just rice and milk. So, and you just stay with that. So it's not much what really happened in this time, but what happening, it's very subtle. It changes something in your reproductive health. Yeah, and it's very hard to explain, but it pulls out toxin from all of your body and eliminates it out through the menstrual blood. This is the intention. Yeah? And this treatment can be also done for women in their menopause. Yeah, because there's also some hormonal struggles, so that can also help to rebalance and go more at ease into menopause. You can also do it when you not menstruate, because some women don't menstruate and go there to menstruate again. So the treatment is really for every woman, for women health. Even you don't have a specific problem, it's just to cleanse and to rebalance. But many women go there with PCOD, endometriosis, absence of menstruation, or any other kind of menstrual problem we women can have. And yeah, it's a very powerful treatment. And in the end, they even did a treatment called 𝗪𝗏𝗏 to me, which is injecting medicated oil in your uterus, which is very, very interesting. And this is also very good for women that have endometriosis and PCOD. For me, myself, my intention was, I have 2 cysts, one on the left, one on the right. For many years already. I didn't pay much attention because the doctors always say like, oh no, it's okay. They're not really growing. And actually the last checkup showed that they're reducing. But I said, in this work I'm doing and learning more about it, I really want to address that now. And that was my intention, to really, for these cysts, I have only 2, so I'm not polycystic, but actually, I don't know how much this actually influenced me. And even always the Western doctor says, no problem. With my holistic understanding, there is a problem. And it's maybe also a problem with other things I'm having. So I want to address it. And I also take specific medicines now to reduce the cysts. Yeah. So just to share why I went there and what was my intention of this treatment. So yeah, already 1 hour. Wow. And yeah, let's open the space for you, if you want to share something about what I just said, if you got some insights, or maybe you want to share something personally or ask some questions. Please unmute yourself and come into the space. If someone like to share something. Maybe you have some experience with Ayurveda already, where Ayurveda helped us or gave you a better understanding or something like this. If you like to share. Give you some space. I will just type this medicine here. So I'm just typing this because Gosha asked me to share. Dhanvantram Gulika are actually tablets, and we use them to do Vata Anulom. That means when Vata is flowing upwards, to bring Vata down. Yeah, very good for menstrual issues, but we also use it, for example, if you burp a lot. So if something flows upward, which shouldn't flow upward. Yeah, so, and also digestive issues and things like that. It's always good. And, you know, for example, in endometriosis, what is endometriosis? Because I said it's a new pandemic in women's health. It's the endometrium lining. It's actually going upwards. Yeah. So parts of the endometrium lining are going actually somewhere in the body where they shouldn't go. Yeah, into the ovaries, into the digestive system. Endometriosis can actually go up into the eyes or into the nose. Yeah, so actually women, they have a lot of nose bleeding. This could be also a sign of endometriosis. Yeah, it also happens that women bleed out of their eyes. Yeah, that's endometriosis. And endometriosis, I'm just studying it more and more. There's actually a wonderful book I'm studying. I'm a very slow reader, but it's called Heal Endo. Yeah, I'm studying this book because I'm very interested in this disease. And also one of my friends, she had very severe endometriosis, stage 4. So it goes up to stage 4. And now she also had to remove her uterus and everything. So endometriosis is very severe, and don't take it lightly. Yeah. But the problem with endometriosis is it is not easy to treat, and it always depends on which stage you're already. But endometriosis has 100 phases, and that's why it's not easy to heal endometriosis, because it can have so many phases. It's not always that women bleed heavily and have pain, which is very often connected to endometriosis, or could be a sign of endometriosis. They can also have no pain at all while they menstruate, but still grow endometriosis within them. So yeah, it's something really need to be addressed. Don't ignore it, because it's really, really difficult later in your life with endometriosis. Yeah.
I want to ask, my microphone is working?
Yes.
Oh, finally. So I can share with you my personal experience. I know a little bit about Ayurveda. It's in my life for 2 years, but before I used tampons during my period, and I realized that after maybe few of them, my belly was bloated. I have very big belly. I felt very heavy, and always when I removed tampon, the air somehow goes out, and I was wondering what's happening. I didn't understand. I thought that maybe it's only in my mind because it was weird. But then when I learned Ayurveda, I understood that it was vata, which couldn't go out. It was like accumulating in my belly, right? Nancy, can you agree
Yes.
with me? So now I don't use menstrual cups or tampons, maybe sometimes when I really need, and I feel better, and I'm not bloated anymore. So you can also check with yourself. For me, it was a game changer. And
definitely. Yeah. Yes. You wanted to? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very, very, very important. Also, that could be maybe another topic. Menstrual hygiene. Yeah. What to use and what not to use. And I explained it a little bit in the context of sexual contact while you're menstruating. Actually, everything what we're putting up inside and up is not good. Yeah. It's blocking. Exactly what Gosha just explained. Yeah, it's blocking the free flow, and you just accumulating something in the body which actually needs to flow out. Yeah, and also we need to see that we have a certain pH in our vagina, and with this, also with the blood, our menstrual blood has a different pH. So if we are keeping this blood inside, or if we are not consistently changing our sanitary pads, that is also very harmful and can create bacterial infection because of the pH. Yeah. So yeah, we need to be very aware what kind of hygienic products we are using. So thank you for sharing this. So if there are no more questions, then I have a question. Yes.
One more.
Yes.
do you, Nancy, know maybe anything more about cleaning process during menstruation? I was digging into this topic, like in the from the medical point of view, and
Yeah.
I only found something that is maybe connected with lymphatic system. Like Western medicine don't agree with this concept, but maybe, you know, as always with Ayurveda, with the time medicine is discovering something new, so maybe in few years they will know why it happens. For sure, I understand how it goes with the mind, and I can feel it, that my mind is clearing during menstruation, but I don't understand the ama concept. Do you know something more how to explain?
Yeah, because during menstruation, like ama goes into the uterus, you know, and maybe something you have seen women or yourself, you have very clotty menstruation, a lot of pieces and clots. This is actually ama comes out of the body. Yeah, so this really shows you have accumulated a lot of ama in the body. How it mechanically goes and pulls the toxin out of the body with the ama, the whole process I can also not explain you. But when you look into, for example, we do enemas, yeah, so we cleaning through the anus. We also pull the toxins out of the colon, yeah, and something like this is happening. We're pulling the toxins out of the uterus, yeah, because as you know, Gosha is our last tissue. So something goes wrong in we have 7 tissues. In the first tissues, it will somehow come into the last tissue, which are the reproductive organs. Yeah. So, and something is accumulating there. So when we don't have a normal flow of blood, like reddish, but there is a lot darkness or clots, and that's already a sign of the body cleanses from ama. Does it make more sense? Kind of. Okay. As I told you guys, I actually have a question for you, or want or like to ask you for some help. I did teach an online course for menstrual awareness, and I'm working already for a while on my next course, which I would love to launch next year, April. And this course really, I want to put my soul in that, and want to give much more information than I did before. So it will be an 8 weeks course. So what I like to ask you, would you like, or do you have time to jump with me on maybe a 15 minutes call? And this is for those are present here and also watching the replay. Jump with me on a call, or those I might see, like Sonia tomorrow, and share with me, like, if you would book or buy an 8 weeks course for Ayurveda for menstrual health, what would you expect to learn? So I would love to jump on a call with maybe 10 women. I'm looking forward to have a quick call and hear what you would expect or want to learn from an 8 weeks course. That would be very, very helpful. We're putting the last bits together in this course, like 90% is done, but I just want to make sure before I launch it, I really cover everything what women really truly want to learn. And of course, I will give something back for your time. That could also be combined if you feel something has inspired or sparked up in this class for you. You would like to personally connect with me. We can also make it a longer call of 30 minutes, and we can just have it as a discovery call also for yourself and see where I could help you in a one-on-one program. Yeah. Okay, so last time I'm asking, anything you would like to share or to say or to question?
I can share a little something.
Yes, please.
All right. So after our previous encounter in Bangkok, I started to get into Ayurveda a little bit more, and I start to have this little practice by sleeping a little bit early and waking up with ginger, honey, lemon tea. And after like practicing that for like approximately a month now, I feel like I wake up more energized and having a lot of like also in a better mood. And after my first tea, I could have a better digestive system, and I am like really energized to like wake up, and I could learn, and I am like really there. And I guess like that is really different, because before I start sleeping early and having warm water every day when I wake up, I feel like hell. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. That's a very good experience. Just
Yeah.
from changing a little bit, and that's it. You know, sometimes it's just as little changes can make a big difference in your overall health. So yeah. And you know, sometimes I also see, like, to complete that, we are so holding on and we are so attached on our old habits. I had once a client, she said, and what about my soul food? And I was like, yeah, but soul food, yeah, okay, but just check in if this soul food are really helping you to get better. You know, what about soul food? Yeah, but in the end, I yesterday also had some soul food. I was regretting it because I immediately get digestive issues, you know, and I was thinking, okay, Nancy, now really anchor this in your mind. This is not even bringing you any joy anymore when you suffer afterwards. In the moment, you might love to eat that chocolate or the spaghetti, but then like an hour later, you suffer. So where's this soul food? It's not nurturing your soul, not at all. Yeah, we need to change perspective, and that's really what Ayurveda or Vedanta also teaching us: changing perspective, changing thoughts, changing mindset, and not hanging on, clinging on something which actually not serving us and not helping us in any way to live womanhood more healthy. And I think for the youngster here, it's really should be the intention to have a very healthy, normal, happy menstruation life. And for some of us, it's the intention to go into menopause very with ease and peace. Yeah, this is really what comes with menopause as well, finding peace. Yeah, when we don't have that hormonal up and downs anymore. Yeah, then we're tapping into our wise master. And it's nice when we do that, very, very pleasant, yeah, without too much struggles. So maybe pre-menopause and menopause will be a next big topic for me to offer something on this. Okay, everyone, any more questions, sharings? Otherwise, yes. Anyway, otherwise, thank you so much for joining today, making this time. I will send out an email with a link for those who would love to jump with me on a call, either for some personal things or for this quick interview for the course. That would be very, very nice. And I leave you in my newsletter if you like to just stay up to date, because my intention for next year is really to share more of this again. Yeah. Okay, everyone, have a beautiful Sunday. Have a wonderful Christmas if we don't hear or see each other again, and Happy New Year. And stay happy. Stay happy. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Nancy.